Not sure why you're not hearing the audio.
You got me now?
Now I hear you. Whatever you did, fixed it.
Yeah, I had to allow access. Like, I don't know what was happening, but
Okay, yeah, and it sounds like it just turned back off again. Oh, I can hear you. I can hear the background now, so yeah, now I can't hear you again. Oh, now it turned back on. So I think it's some sort of connection on your.
yeah.
Okay, so I can hear you right now. So
Okay, yeah, I'm just not going to use the
the
headphones.
headphones. Yeah, so I can hear you perfectly fine right now. So I don't know if maybe you had Bluetooth with headphones that was maybe not connecting properly.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. I had, of course, right as I turned on Zoom, it had some sort of update, so I had to get out of it and then get back in again. And so I don't know if the others who were on are trying to get back in, because right now it's just you
Yeah.
and me. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens. I apologize, a little technical glitch, even though we have a good, strong internet connection. But either way, there's also some people they were starting at 8 o'clock doing the coherence healing, not being on the Zoom call, but are participating nonetheless. But because of time differences in Pakistan, India, wherever they might be, they're not on the actual live Zoom. So nice to meet you. Thank you for
Yeah, nice to meet you.
inviting me into your sacred space to allow us to come together for your greatest good to heal whatever it is. This is a non disclosure space, so there's no requirement or need for you to tell us what it is. The divine knows exactly what it is that you need. So, and the formula is the same no matter what the condition, whether it's health, whether it's relationships, whether it's money, whether it's physical. It doesn't matter what it is. A job, it could be anything. It doesn't matter. The formula is still the same. You know, we have to have an open heart and have our hearts open and connected so that we have heart and brain coherence. We slow down our breath, slow down our heart rate, slow down our brain waves, and then we have a clear intention, marry it with an elevated emotion of love, joy, appreciation, and gratitude, and then we let it go. And so the formula is the same no matter what it is that we're creating. So um, with that being said, there's a couple of little primers that I want to start this off with. As we're doing a coherence healing, the only requirement for you is to show up, and it doesn't matter where you're located. We've have so many of these that have been done. People like we just did Cindy Blayenberg last week, and she went from being in a terrible amount of pain before the coherence healing. At the end of the coherence healing, she had no pain, and then she had all sorts of other things that were healed as well. And I don't even know exactly what her condition was, but I think you saw in Dr. Joe
Yeah.
meditation group how she had two other coherence healings that were scheduled that she canceled because she's fine now. So and then as you know, I'm not healing you. It's really you. You're healing yourself. You're allowing yourself to be healed because that's the desire of your heart. So the first and foremost, I got to preface this by telling you, and I'll send you a link to this video that talks about one of Dr. Joe's advanced students, Eduardo Osorio, who healed. He was diagnosed with not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but six fatal conditions. When he went to the doctor, he was flabbergasted because he just thought he had some sort of infection because he was urinating blood, and he didn't feel that bad, but come to find out he had six fatal medical conditions. And so the doctor basically told him, you have 2 years to live, you'll be dead by August 2019. There's not a lot we can do. You're not eligible for a liver transplant, you're not eligible for a kidney transplant. There's nothing we can do. I guess he also had thrombocytopenia, he had hepatitis C. I don't remember all six medical conditions. I probably should write them down so when I tell people I can read off all six, because maybe some of you may have one or two of those conditions or more. He's the only person I know who had six fatal medical conditions, and so the doctors basically said, you're a goner. All we can do is do palliative care, make you comfortable, but get your affairs in order. And he was like, no way, this can't be happening to me. And so long story short, what he learned and realized through his particular healing journey was that all of this was done, all of this happened to him so that he could learn to live his life with an open heart, which he didn't even know that his heart was closed, before this happened, while it happened. And it wasn't until that week of the healing that he realized, oh my goodness. And so the first thing that he said that the divine told him, and I bring this up because it's, I think, the most powerful and the most important part of this, because the divine told him, and he's told us this too, but it was so poignant the way he told him. He said, look, Eduardo, there's only two miracles. There are big miracles and there are little miracles. And the little miracles we do all the time. The challenging one are the big miracles. And the little miracle is the healing of the body. And that's not a big miracle, because the healing of the body, the divine designed the body to naturally grow and regenerate. And point in case is, you cut your finger, and without you going to the doctor, without you doing anything, it automatically heals and regenerates, even if you don't do anything other than clean it, wash it, keep it clean. You don't do anything to it, it will heal. And so that's a little miracle. However, a big miracle involves your heart and involves your free will. And the divine loves us so much, and we are created in the image of the divine, and the divine would never, and whether you choose to use the name of the divine, God, the creator, the great I am, any one of the 72 names of God that a lot of people are familiar with, doesn't really matter. The divine doesn't care, and I don't think neither should you, but if you do, whatever name you give that power that is greater than us, that created the body, who clearly has the ability to heal the body and has made everything from the quantum level all the way to the cosmic level. And so the revelation was that energy respects your free will. You were created with free will to choose whatever it is that you want. You can choose to do something. You can choose to do nothing. Either way, it's your choice, and you're a free will being. So the divine's not going to override your free will. So the thing is, we are all born from conception up until we are anywhere from 6, 7, 8 years of age. We have things that happen that make us close our hearts. And maybe you didn't have your heart closed by the time you're 6, 7, or 8. Then eventually something in your 20s, your 30s, you have a heartbreak from a girlfriend or a wife or a divorce, or a business partner betrayed you, or a landlord sued you, or whatever. There's an infinite number of reasons why we will feel that we have the need to protect ourselves and close our hearts. And then it's only up to us to decide to open it back up again or not. It's like whatever you choose, naturally, whether you choose to or not to, you still live with the choice that you make. So the divine told Eduardo that that's the big miracle, is the miracle of opening the individual's heart, and the divine will not open your heart against your will. You have to say, I want to have an open heart. It's like, okay, yes, I want to heal, but I want to have an open heart. I want to have the courage to step into that space. I don't know how. I don't know how to do it. I don't know anything having to do with that. My only choice is I choose to have an open heart. And then the divine says, great, because that's the one thing the divine will not override your state of being, because that's your divine birthright. Once you decide, and once Eduardo decided, he just wept. His heart immediately opened up, and he said, I just want an open heart. I don't care if I heal. I don't care about anything else. The only thing I want is an open heart. He instinctively knew that as soon as he had an open heart, that everything else would fall into place and he would be healed. That's exactly what happened. And so that happened on day one. For him, it happened on day one of the 7-day advanced event. And he cried for all 7 days, every meditation, on his way every morning to the 7-day advanced event. He wasn't able to get into the 7-day advanced event into the hotel that was the hosting hotel. So he would have to drive an hour and a half, I think it was an hour and a half, 2 hours every morning. I don't know how he did it, because to be that sick and to be able to pull that off, do 12, 14-hour days, and then drive back every night. And he said it wasn't hard at all. He was in so much gratitude. He had so much love in his heart. He said his heart was just blew wide open, and it was a 7-day cry fest. He never felt more love, and nothing more extraordinary than that. And he knew that the seventh day, he's like, oh my God, not only is my heart open, he goes, I'm completely and utterly healed. And he couldn't wait to get back home to go to his doctors so that they could do the tests. And then he was able to confirm it. And then that came to pass, where his doctors were like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be dead. You should be on your deathbed. And it's like, just one of these things could have killed you, let alone you had 6 things stacked against you. And then the rest is history. So,
And I'm sure they can't explain it, and yeah, they
they
always
they can't explain it because it doesn't make, there's no scientific explanation for it other than
it's
it
energy.
being, yeah, it's an instantaneous healing that he had, which is kind of funny because they're calling it instantaneous, but he meditated for 7 days at a Dr. Joe event, 10 to 12 hours a day, but he showed up willing, he was willing to surrender, which is the
And
hardest thing
it's
to
an
do.
upgrade. It's an upgrade.
Yeah, he had a massive biological upgrade, massive biological upgrade. So, um, I say that to you because oftentimes, people say, it's like, well, I want to have an open heart, I just don't know how. And I know that my heart is closed. I know my heart is it's either closed, or they'll say my heart is broken, or I know that I have a block. I just don't know how to open it. I go, it's not your job to know how to open it. You just have to choose to open it. That's it. Say, okay, don't know how, it doesn't matter. The divine knows. All you have to do is choose it. Say, okay, I choose to have an open heart. Done deal. Then the divine comes in. Okay, great. Now we can go in, completely open up the heart, completely heal anything past, present, future in that heart, and then boom, the energy goes up through your head, and then that's where the healing all goes through. The second thing people say is like, I really want to do this. I really want to open my heart. The part that I really have trouble with, it's like the decision to open my heart, done. I just don't know how to let go. I don't know how to surrender. And so what I've realized over just the last several months, as I've done a lot of these coherence healings, is I had a visualization that came to me in meditation, which I've been sharing with everyone that's a healee like yourself. And I say, the best thing to do is, as we begin the meditation, when you first close your eyes and you're slowing down your breath, your heart rate, and your brain waves, you're rolling your eyes up into your head, is visualize yourself standing in front of your bed. And as you stand in front of your bed, you can feel behind your legs the edge of the mattress and behind your legs. And you can feel the edge, and as you take your hands and you put it over your heart, that if you were to drop on your bed, that your bed is there to catch and support you, and it's completely safe. There's no pain involved, and that you can just let go. So as you do that, you just stand in that visualization, feeling what you would feel, sensing what you would sense if you were to do that, and just allow yourself to drop in your mind's eye. And as you hit the mattress and your covers, you just go, ah. Because when we let go and we're relieved, we have a sigh of relief. We go, ah. So if you
Yeah.
just allow yourself to do that, your body and your brain will go, oh, they're letting go. He's surrendering. He's accepting. He's receiving. He's embracing. So it's that completely letting go. So that's the best representation that I've been able to do, not only for myself, but I find that as I've shared it with others, people are like, okay, yeah, that I can do. Yeah, because everybody has, how many times have you not been like exhausted and you're like, oh, you just drop into your bed and you're like, oh, you fall onto your pillow, your bed, and you just throw the covers on and you go to sleep, right? It's like this relief,
Yeah.
it's a complete surrender, and then you fall asleep in 30 seconds because you're wiped out. So I would encourage you and recommend that you do that.
Okay.
The last thing I'm going to say is I like to use this acronym of accept, receive, and embrace, which right now you're being right now very present because we're in this coherence healing. So to be is a conjugation, if you will, of the verb to be is, are, like we are present at this moment. So this also came to me in a meditation, and I saw the word are spelled vertically like this, are, and then it said accept, receive, and embrace, which is why I print this out for people to see now. For me, and instantly it was like easy to remember. I'm like, oh yeah, R, accept, receive, embrace. I'm like, that's what we all need to be doing. One way of letting go is say yes. In my mind's eye, I go, yes, I accept, I receive, I embrace. So you're willing to receive the gift of healing. You're really healing yourself, because automatically when you choose to open your heart, you're choosing to allow the energy to come flow through you, in you, and all around you, so that that healing and that biological upgrade can take place. So then, as you just say, I accept, I receive, I embrace, you're in a loving state of being, in appreciation and gratitude, knowing that you're accepting it, you're receiving it, you're embracing it. And so that's another point that I want to leave with you as we begin this coherence healing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that. Accept, receive, embrace. Yeah.
Accept, receive, and embrace. Yeah. And so the last thing to know is that throughout this whole process, Dr. Joe always says, do slow breathing. So I like to emphasize how important it is to slow down the breath, because the breath is actually the remote control to your brain. It is through the breath that you slow down your heart rate, you slow down your brain waves, you slow down your pulse, you slow down your blood pressure, and you relax yourself from head to toe. It's by doing that your breath actually automatically triggers a lever in your hippocampus, and it automatically sedates everything so that you relax, and your fight or flight response is automatically shut off. And it only happens if you breathe. Let's say if you were to breathe in quickly and then exhale, you would be rushing your heartbeat and then slowing it, rushing your heartbeat and then slowing it. So you're not going to fully relax. So the key is to breathe, inhale as slowly as you comfortably can. Forget about the rate that anybody else breathes. It doesn't matter. This is all about you. So as you feel yourself, you just breathe in as slowly as you can till you get to the top, and you get as much air in your body as possible into your lungs, and then you hold it for a little bit until it's still comfortable. When you feel that you're starting to need air and it's a little uncomfortable, without holding pressure and without closing off your airway in your mouth, because a lot of people will close off the airway in their mouth, therefore creating like suction and pressure against the brain. So what you want to do is keep your airway open, keep your tongue kind of relaxed, so you're not pushing and closing off your airway in the back of your
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? And then once you're at the top there and you feel the need to breathe, to exhale, then you exhale as slowly as you can. That slow inhale, hold, and slow exhale is what relaxes your body head to toe, and is what sedates your fight or flight response, in addition to slowing down your heart rate, your brain waves, dropping you into theta state, your blood pressure, your pulse, etc. Okay? That's one of the most important elements. The breath, rolling your eyeballs up into your head, so that when you close your eyes, you're looking up, and then you simply, and it's not, nothing is forced. Everything is in a soft, gentle, comfortable way. If you're trying really hard to hold them really up, your eyes are going to get tired and you could get a headache. Same thing with your tongue. A lot of people neglect the tongue, and they hold. I was one of those where I realized, oh my gosh, I'm holding so much tension in the roof of my mouth by pressing my tongue. Everything else was relaxed except my tongue.
Yeah.
So those are little things that are not so little things, because they make all the difference in the world of the energy to completely be able to flow through you. Because that's really what you want. That's what I want, so that you actually do get healed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it actually does, because especially with the tongue, yes, I've noticed during some meditations, I felt this pressure at the top of my roof of my mouth, and I have to actively let go. But just doing that from the start, I think, yeah, that's going to keep this process, or make this process a bit more smoother. So that's some advice that actually resonates with me. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. The fact that it resonates you means that that message really is for you. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the coherence healing. The most important thing is, I hope you have an upright chair.
Yeah, I'm just going to shut the door just because I was going to use my earphones, so that I just have a bit of ambient noise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to say is our ego, our funny little amigo, our ego. I sometimes when people start to do these meditations, for coherence healing or for any kind of meditation, our ego is like, oh, you're not breathing slow enough, you're not breathing fast enough, you're not doing the breathing right, or this is going to work for everybody but you, or you're not good enough, or what makes you think, you know what? Everybody else can get healed, but you, no, you're the exception. You're the only one who's not going to be healed. Or you know what? You should have, could have, should have, whatever. That's your ego that's trying to keep you. It's going, he's doing something different. He's like, ascending. He's bringing more light in. No. So it's going to try to put in those negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions because it's trying to drag you back to the familiar past. So the first moment you notice a negative, oh, I'm just not doing this right, you're like, I'm on to you, ego. You can visualize this red button. See, this red button says it's easy. So just visualize that red button because that's what I did. I did that for a long time before I actually bought this, by the way. I just bought this so I could share this with you guys online. But I would visualize this red button, and that's my ego. And then next to my ego, I would picture my brain. My ego's on the left. My conscious awareness is on the right. So ego, oh, or you need to hurry up. You're not doing this right. I go,
that was easy.
Ego, timeout. And I'd hear the ego say, that was easy. I'm like, yep, that's right. You're in timeout, ego. And then brain, do as I say. I assume the command is done. And then I continue with slowing down my breath, slowing down my heart rate, slowing down my brain waves, and then breathing, inhaling as slowly as I can, holding, and exhaling. Okay? And we're in an upright chair, so your spine is straight. So as you do the breath, and you're focusing your attention from the first energy center going up all the way to the top and then back down. There's all sorts of stuff that's happening neurochemically. We're not going to get into that right now because right now this is just a coherence healing. And I think that's basically it. I think you have all the basics for now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm going to stop the recording here for the. I'm going to turn the recording back on. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, immediately. It was almost too much. I almost stopped. It was all my hands and down my arms. I started getting this real, like this tingling, this rush of this tingling feeling. And it was interesting because I was already into what I felt really deep in a deep state. But I had this feeling go through my arms and through my hands, and I had this tingling in my first center, and it was almost too much. I almost stopped, but I I sort of got back to it, and then the third center, the same thing happened again in the third center, and this time it sort of came through I've still got goosebumps.
Yeah, I have them too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had these bumps. I've still got them. They went through my elbows and then through into my third center, and it kind of came around my shoulders as well. But I really felt free. I felt free of something. I felt free. Like I can't describe it. It's so And then the heart, when we went up to the heart, um, this time it was more, I don't know, I feel like it was just a overwhelming sort of, just went through me. I don't know how to say, like I didn't have to even, I don't know, it just came through me this time, through my heart. And I just felt joy and love. And then right at the end, when we were just being outside of our body, I just felt, I didn't feel like anything. I just felt like I was everything. I just felt like just in it. I don't know. Like I just, yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Wow. So, with this coherence healing with you, apparently there were multiple, I saw and experienced multiple dimensions. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, you had sixth dimensional beings, and I've never seen this before, but it was really interesting because you had three guys. I'm going to say guys because you can't tell their gender. They're like androgynous, I guess you could say, and they're like light bodies. But you had three of them that were standing behind you, um, sending energy into your heart. And then there was, I don't know how many, where it was like a big light beam that was going into your heart, but there was like, I don't know, I didn't count, there was like a whole bunch of them that were standing in a line, and it was almost like they were magnetically, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but they were kind of like somehow magnetically sending this energy that was like a log that was going through your heart. So it was like from behind you and from in front of you, three of them behind you, and I don't know how many of them that were in front of you, just sending this light beam through you. And then there was, and then at first I couldn't see this, but over time, as we kept on going through the meditation, then I saw that from your first energy, second, third, fourth, fifth, the energy was all the way up to the very top. And then I saw a really cool. It was like a light. It was like a light that was around your head, kind of like a halo, but it was somehow it was like right around your head, but it was from the light being around, it was like sending energy straight into your third eye. and
Yeah.
and then there were, this is really interesting, there were like all these six dimensional beings. They would move it clockwise, and then they would go back and move it clockwise, and then move it back, clockwise, move it back, and then it kept on spinning clockwise. And I thought, wow, that's kind of cool looking.
Maybe that's because I've been trying to work on my pineal gland,
Well,
and so one of my intentions has been to have an experience with my to activate my pineal gland, and so maybe that might have been an adjustment.
yeah, because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that halo light thing that they put around your, almost like a crown, but it was like a halo, and it was kind of a flat. I know it's kind of weird to think of light as flat, but it was kind of like a very strong laser light all the way around. But the light would go in all the way around directly into your pineal gland. And then I saw, it was just weird, like, because there was a big group of them. And it's like they turned it to adjust it, and then it started going clockwise. And then they would back just a little bit, and then it was like an adjustment.
Wow.
So, so then there was this one being, even though you were facing, as I was watching this, you were facing that way. But then it's somehow, because in 5D, you don't look like with your natural eyes. So somehow I was able to see like in front of you, as if I was the observer seeing you from in front. And then there was this hand, it was another dimensional being, that not a sixth dimensional being. I have no idea what dimension, because that was not given to me. But this dimensional being took their arm over your right shoulder, and they put their hand over you. And then when I looked at their hand, it's not like your hand and my hand. I don't know. I think they had 10 or 12 fingers, but there was like no thumb, where it was like 10 or 12 fingers, and they were just like holding you, Like there's something about them holding and hugging and loving you, and it was like a supportive gesture. And they had like, I just remember going, that's a lot of fingers, because they had all these fingers, and all I could see was their arm over you. So I don't know what they looked like. I could just see the arm like over your chest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
That,
then
that it's, so where I am right now in my life, um, I've moved to an energetic place. So I'm right on the river.
ooh, ooh,
And it was my intention. So where I am right now, there's a big bank of water that we just come. It all the energy just comes into this one area where where I'm sitting right now. And before I moved to this place, the intention was that I needed to be somewhere with more energy. And this moment, I feel like what happened in the last however long we were out, I feel like somehow it's lined up. So it just feels right
I just got a
because
big energy surge when you
I,
said
I,
that.
I can't tell you, like I felt so many, so many more people were there during this. I don't know if it was people or like you said, other entities, but I, I felt you, I felt your heart,
Mm-hmm.
I felt, I felt your warmness, and I felt your love and your support during that whole thing.
Sending
But
love.
I felt like there was people everywhere. I felt more connected to everything, and it just felt like it was so easy. Like I've never been. It was almost like as soon as we started. So as soon as we started, actually, first thing I was a little bit nervous,
Mhm.
but I just did the breathing as you said, and
Mhm.
then instantly I was out, and then instantly in that first center, I felt this energy, and then I'm still got goosebumps. Like
Me too. I keep on getting waves of the energy of goosebumps too.
yeah. I have all this energy all over my arms right now, and through my heart. It's just I'm like it's like electricity in my head.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. You also had a girl that was kissing you at one point. There was like um somehow all of a sudden I saw a different dimension, and then this girl, she was like lower than you and she was facing up to you, and then she was kissing you. And then from there it went to another like I said, it kept on like it's like just a split microsecond. Then it's like I'd be in a different dimension witnessing, but we're there, we were there in all those different dimensions where I was observing all of this. So like towards the end I told the six dimensional beings, and then I told like my guardian angel is Metatron. I said, tell me, I go, this is a lot of stuff. So I go, tell me what it is I'm supposed to remember, because it's hard to explain all of this stuff, and what is it that he needs to know. So just, you know, guide me through that. Because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to tell you about the girl, and then it was like,
Mm,
okay, so I told you about the girl, and then there was like another dimension where I couldn't quite, um, seventh dimension. I didn't know that at the time, but I was just given that right now. Seventh dimension. It was harder to see in that dimension. And there was another bunch of energetic beings that I couldn't really perceive. And at the same time, it kind of felt like it was long, like hundreds of years ago. Um,
mm,
and at the same time that it felt like it was 100 years ago, it also felt like it was 100 years ago somehow. And I know this doesn't make sense, but it's 100 years, several hundred years ago, but it reached somehow like into like way in the future. I don't know how far in the future. So, and I know,
mm.
there's no time in there, so I don't know. That's the only
So
way I can describe it.
it's interesting, I'll tell you this, like, so and sometimes with life you feel like you have a calling.
Yeah.
So the only thing that's ever made sense to me is that there's something more with consciousness. And it's just so, like I said, been recently in the last 4 months that I've started connecting with different information, but I've never I feel it more, and I understand it more, and I understand all with energy. It goes beyond space and time, and I feel connected to more than I feel most people that I know understand. And it's interesting now because when I receive information, especially when it's got to do with energy, quantum physics, just that understanding of, that there is more with what we can't perceive in this three-dimensional space. And it's just so funny because I don't know, something I don't understand exactly where I am, but I feel right now where I'm aligned with what I'm learning now with energy and about consciousness. I feel like I am on the right path, and that's kind of feels like a calling almost.
Yeah, and I just heard the words somehow water speaks to you, and I kept on getting the word diluvian, diluvian, diluvian. I don't know. I kind of sense you're supposed to write that down, and
Yep.
more is going to be revealed to you. Yeah, but something about diluvian. So write the word diluvian down. Water definitely speaks to you. And my sense now is that you're supposed to program water with love and drink it every day.
Diluvian.
Yeah, diluvian, Diluvin. And that has something to do with water. Google it because I don't know. I'd have to. It has something to do with water also. But water speaks
Wow.
to you.
Yeah, it's just so interesting at the moment. I have my crystal here too. I'm just like, I don't know if that's. I'll
Oh,
just put
an
the.
amethyst.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
yeah, so I
I
don't know
have
if it's.
that's the same purple color I have in my background.
Yeah, yeah, and oh, wow, that was Can you see my arms? Can you still see my
Yeah, I
arms?
can see the little all the hairs are raised. Yeah, I kept
Can
on
you see
getting.
them?
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, they're all standing up. Yeah, the wave of
Wow.
energy. Yeah.
I have to say, I'm so blessed, and thank you for that was truly profound. I've just something's happened now, so I kind of feel lighter for sure.
Yeah, yeah. You had a tremendous. Okay, there was I mean, you were all like when I saw you in the fifth dimension, you didn't look the way it was like. It's almost like saying you, but it was all lit up. So you were all just pure white light, and you had because I called in all the light from all the stars, star systems, and all the star galaxies. Oh, and I was just reminded of another thing that happened when we got to fifth your fifth energy center because you already have the light flowing through you. And then when we got to your throat chakra, I was told to take the light of the sun and to put it in your throat. And then it went into your throat, but it was shaped. I know this doesn't make sense, but it was shaped like a triangle, and it went into your
Yeah, that triangles speak to me.
so yeah, it was the
Yeah.
light of the sun,
Yeah.
and it was there, and it felt really good. It was like,
It's so interesting. It's like, oh, this is so weird that you're saying that to me. So before before this meditation, I was drawn to. Oh, you're going to find this crazy, but I was drawn to one of my favorite pieces of art. Do you want to see it?
sure, I would definitely want to see
Okay.
it.
Can you see that?
Of course. Wow, that is a
Yeah.
cool piece, and of course, it's got a triangle.
And it's got to do. So I'm right into space and right into something about yeah about triangles. Yeah, but yeah, that's funny because I got to say I was drawn to that before we started, and like that's just an average just like, it's just something that I was completely drawn to that before this experience. And for some reason, I don't know. I felt like, well, do I need to say something about, I don't, but you can't sort of speak about, oh, hey, look at that, what I mean, beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was completely drawn to that beforehand. And for some reason, I felt that that was relevant.
Yeah, well, it's definitely connected because it doesn't make any sense to us. There's no association normally with the sun and a triangle, but for some reason, the light energy of the sun was supposed to be put that light into your throat, and then it was shaped like a triangle. Um, yeah, so yeah, it's very, 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 very interesting. So yeah, you were supposed to share that piece of art. It's like as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's another sign, similar synchronicity.
Yeah.
It's letting in the meditation. There's a part where he says, um, let like that something in your 3D world will show evidence that the work that's done in you, that it's true and that it's complete and that something is happening. And so you're getting a lot of this stuff in addition to the sensations that you have in your body. You're having some of these other things too, and you're gonna notice other things.
I'm feeling again. I just had a wave. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so that's good. So just keep allowing it and just, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're going to sleep really good, tonight. You might have a really cool dream. You may or may not remember it. You may like first wake up going, wow, that was awesome. And it's like either you totally remember or you have a notion of it. So, and if you have a notion of it and you're more curious, you can just, before you go to sleep, you can say, I want to explore more of that. Go to sleep with that intention, and then sometimes you will have either an offshoot or something else that will reveal itself. But yeah, that was a pretty cool meditation. I don't remember the last time that I had. I don't know how many dimensions, but there were a lot of multiple dimensions that were involved in your particular coherence healing. So that was pretty extraordinary. So
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Something's happened, but I definitely feel it as well. And like I said, it was. I can't. I was so overcome by it. I was overcome by it, but it was right, especially right at the start. But something was saying to me, just go with this, go with this. Just it's going to be. You need to just go with this. And like I said, then through that third, and then in the heart, it was just like I don't know, something was exploding out of me. It was just
it's probably that the three beings that were pushing that light beam from your back, and then you had all like a whole bunch of them that had that giant light beam going straight into your heart. That's probably what you were feeling. I've never seen it that way before, so that was pretty. And there's something magnetic about it, which I've never seen before either. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. Do you do something with dowsing?
dousing. Like
Dowsing?
what's that? Sorry.
Dowsing, where either you use either a pendulum or a crystal or wire rods.
Oh, yeah, maybe,
Oh, you have the singing bowl. Okay.
maybe.
No, I think I was thinking about for some reason the word dowsing came and I thought, oh, so I thought perhaps you use dowsing. You may want to look that up either on YouTube or Google about
Yeah.
dowsing, where you can use either a pendulum or crystal, or you could use some people will even use they'll use wire hangers to
Oh,
it's what-
that's funny. That's my Italian granddad. That's my nonno. So
oh,
the way so when you said maybe a male spirit, I believe he was there. And so the way he used to find water was with,
yes, through the dowsing rods.
yeah.
That's why the dowsing. Okay.
So maybe he was
He was
connecting
there.
through me
He
through
was
the
in one.
water.
Yeah, he was in one of the dimensions then. So that's why the
Yeah.
diluvian. That's all connected.
Delusion.
The diluvian, because diluvian has something to do with water. Let me look up right now.
Yeah.
Word diluvian. Diluvian. It says, diluvian says another term for diluvial. A diluvium was a term in geology for superficial deposits formed by flood-like operations of water, and so contrasted with alluvium or alluvial deposits formed by a slow and steady aqueous agency. Interesting.
Definitely have to look into this. Sure.
Yeah, I'll send you the link here in the chat. That's very interesting. Let me put it in the chat. Here we go. Here's the diluvian, and you see it there in the chat?
Yeah. Okay.
So you can go ahead and copy that so that you can throw it into your browser. Very interesting.
Wow. Yeah, it was just like, oh, there was so much energy just flowing through me, and I gotta say that was just such an experience. I'm so truly blessed, and I hopefully we will cross paths again. Hopefully when the borders open and travel
Yeah.
across
Whereabouts?
the world.
Yeah, whereabouts in the
Brisbane,
world are you? Oh, you're in Brisbane.
Brisbane, Australia. Yeah,
Wow. Okay, good. I know you guys have been closed off for so long. So
yeah.
hopefully they'll open
But
it up.
I do want to do an advanced workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Awesome.
just that's all this information, especially with Dr. Joe. It's just sometimes someone speaks your language, you understand it, and it just sort of just something about what they're saying. It's on a deeper level, but you connect to it so profoundly that it means more than, oh, that's good information. It's like, oh no, that's me. You know what I mean?
Uh, Someone who speaks your language says it at a deeper level that just, that's you. Yeah, I think there's a lot of us that feel that way too. So just like you. So very
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, thank you.
you're having a wonderful day so far, and I just bless you with continued that flow of love, that it would continue to flow. And thank you for allowing me to come into your sacred space and do this coherent healing, for you. And we'll keep in touch, and
Yeah.
we'll see you in the Dr. Joe meditation group as well. So much
Yeah.
love to you, John, and
Yeah. And
congratulations.
thank you. And if there's anything I can do to help, or if you think of me in the future, please let me know. I'd be glad to.
Thank you. Right now, I'm just working on this book called The Intuition Manifesto. So I'll announce it in the Dr. Joe meditation group. So it's a divinely inspired book that came very unexpectedly, and so I should have the hardback and the paperback in the next couple of weeks. So I'm very excited about that. So a lot of cool, exciting things happening in 2022. So happy
Thank
for
you.
you too. Love you bunches, and
Thank you.
we'll see you soon again. And we didn't record the meditation part. So if you're okay with it, I will send you the recording so that you can watch it again. And then after you watch it, if you give me permission to share it with others, then we will do that.
Yeah.
Okay?
For sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.